So imagine you have a goal and imagine that you could cut the time in half in achieving that goal. Today, we're going to tell you how.
All right, friends, welcome back to the Freedom Parent Podcast. We are here to talk all things faith, family, fitness, and finances. And today we want to dive into one thing that is standing between you and momentum, you and your goals. What's that one thing, Harold?
Intensity.
I like it. You said that very intense.
Intensity.
So we were coaching one of our higher level groups the other day, and you sent this really impactful message in there, actually. And when I read it, I immediately thought about different seasons in our life when we lasered in on like one goal.
Yeah.
And we just decided, when people say, oh, you just have to decide. And I used to always hate that because like, what does that mean? Like, what does it mean to decide? Until we had gone through some different things and we had our goals in front of us. And it was like, for me, I feel like it's that moment where you see an opportunity in front of you and that opportunity is matched by belief and desire. And all of a sudden.
Sounds like Eminem song.
Yeah.
You got it.
I love that song.
But
anyway, and then in that moment, you see the only thing standing between you and your goal is you taking massive action. That's what it means. That's the moment of the decision in my mind.
Yeah.
And what happens after that?
Well, I just think of any time I'm like stuck in my goals. It could be health. It could be like, all right, think about going to the gym. You just feel like, I don't want to be here. You kind of going through the motions. Now, I will say this, though. Sometimes going through the motions is better than not going through the motions.
Yeah, it depends on where your mental state is and your emotional state and what you're going through.
Don't just skip. It's better to just go through the motions if you're mentally there. But sometimes and often people are always just going through the motherfucking motions.
Yes.
And wondering why
discernment is powerful.
Exactly. And wondering why things is the act of that is so painful. It's not creating the results they want. It's because they're always just going through the motions. And I know and it can be simple, just flip the switch. So for instance, when you're at the gym, whenever I realize or feel that I'm lacking or dragging or procrastinating, it's because you lack or I lack intensity. Mm-hmm. So with your workouts, it's like, it's just a flip of a switch to just pick up the intensity and your body will follow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like your body will follow. Or it could be at a goal of in your business. I don't want to make the call. I don't want to make the post. I don't want to do the video. You lack intensity. Like it's like you elevate that intensity. And that can break down too, like we were sharing in a post with some of our leaders in a group that we're mentoring about take whatever goal it is you have and divide that time you gave yourself to hit it by 12. So when you create structural tension and you decrease the time limit, like you shrink the time to achieve the goal, that means that you have to level up in your intensity. Mm-hmm. You have no choice. Like your intensity has to increase to support the shrink in time, the time frame to achieve the goal. And what I was writing to them, I said, I want all you guys, I want to ask you a question. Where could you benefit in your life by turning up your intensity? So take whatever goal it is and divide that time you gave yourself to hit it by 12. And that freaks a lot of people out.
Yep.
And it should. Mm-hmm. Because it's going to challenge those thoughts and those conditioned, right? Habits that the way you've been operating to level the F up.
Yep.
Right?
It's when you decide to push past a pain threshold. We've all seen the cute little meme with your comfort zone, right? And then the circle and everything magical and wonderful happens outside of that.
Right.
But with the intensity, for in your example of like working out and stuff, if you want to push your body and your physique and your strength and everything to the next level, it's going to require the intensity to push past something that is going to initially cause you some kind of pain or discomfort, right?
Yeah.
But what happens after that is this feeling of being alive.
Yeah.
Like this adrenaline rush.
That's a good point, because that's what it does. Like with working out, and this is probably some people just can't, it may not be able to comprehend this if they're not really into lifting, or because I know some people are scared of the gym. And we're using this as an example, but you can apply it to anywhere's business or whatever. But it's kind of like when I feel like I'm lacking in the gym, for instance, as an example, sometimes you got to go chase that pain.
Mm-hmm.
That pain of that acid, right? That lactic acid in your legs or whatever it is you're pumping. Sometimes you got to go chase that.
Yep.
And then that increases or changes the frequency that you're operating, hence increases the intensity and changes you physically.
And it expands your pain threshold too. Suddenly something that caused great discomfort with consistency over time, now it's like, man, that doesn't even bother me anymore. You know, business building activities and things that once are, you know, foreign to you, when you laser in on your goal and that you're going at it with this, you just ferociousness of like, I'm attacking this, then all of a sudden it's actually not that uncomfortable anymore. And it reconditions yourself to actually chase after something with force, with might, with power and strength, which is how we should go after every single goal in life.
Yeah. When you're looking at too, I was just thinking about, as you're saying that, I was thinking about creating that structural tension. Because for some people, they're like, that's nuts. He's talking about chasing pain. She's talking about creating, you know.
We're a little nuts.
Well, you know, I mean, that's where, you know, that's what it takes to hit your goals physically, you know. That's where it takes to hit your goals in your business too, right? If you have big goals. Maybe you got small little goals. I mean, just, you know, tune us out, change the channel. But if you really have some big goals, and we're just telling you what it takes.
Yep.
And it becomes fun too. When you're operating at that level of intensity, it's like a rush. It's an endorphin rush. You feel, I think you said it, you feel alive. You feel alive. So if you're sitting here listening to this and you just don't feel that energy, you don't feel alive, and you feel like you're going through the motions, it's because, again, you lack intensity.
Yeah.
You lack intensity.
Yeah. So I think a key is create a finish line for yourself.
Then shrink that finish line.
Yep. So instead of making it a marathon, turn it into a 5K.
Yes, but you may not hit that goal in that time frame.
5Ks.
But you may not, exactly, you may not hit that goal. But that's okay. You're going to level up your intensity to go after that as the goal. But know that if you fall short, you didn't fail, but you shrunk that time limit as if you wouldn't have done that.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So say you did it twice as fast or 3 times as fast as opposed to if you would have just played the long game. I mean, on the long game, what?
Slow and steady.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, ultimately,
there's all kinds of varying speeds on the path to success.
Yeah,
all kinds of. But you have to have the slow and steady, and you have to have the sprinting, and then you have to have the slightly longer pushes. But you know, I mean, like there's all different varying speeds, and if you try to go one speed all the time, you either lose interest if you go too slow, too long, or you slide back because you're not creating enough results and momentum to actually grow. Or if you go too fast, too long, then you burn out. So you have to have these periods of when you know, like, this is the push.
Yeah. Oh, because people, I think, are pacing themselves too long, because I think I think it might have been Ed Milet that talked about people having a depth perception issue with like the time frame and when they can accomplish things. They don't understand how close they really are.
Wow, yeah.
So they have a depth perception challenge and they don't realize how close they are. So they start pacing themselves because they think, oh, it's 5-10 years down the road. So they start to pace themselves and their actions follow suit of pacing themselves. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
So to your point, there's seasons of sprinting. And I think we heard it from a name drop a bunch of people, Eric Worre.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the first time I heard about, not saying he created it, but just that paradigm of operating in a 90-day blitz.
Mm-hmm.
That's increasing your intensity at a high level. But to your point, and his point, is you could only operate at that level for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're going to burn out.
Yep.
So a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day blitz is about max, where you're operating at an intensity so high that the amount of momentum you're going to create, and you'll know, because when you get to day 60, day 90, you're going to be like, I'm exhausted. Yeah. That's good. That means you've been pushing at a high
hard,
level.
You should be exhausted sometimes
of getting stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've created so much momentum, though, that then you can pace for a week, pace for 2 weeks, pace for 3 weeks.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden you'll know when to creep that intensity back up.
Yeah. You don't have to actually stop building your business
That's
or your
how we grew our
health to
business,
replenish
though.
your energy either.
Was that playbook right there? Though?
Yeah, that's it. 100%.
Was doing these short blitzes.
Yep. And it really resonated with us too, or me, because I enjoy running, but it is a mental space that you have to understand. So if you want to understand what we're talking about in the terms of pushing towards a goal in your business or your life, then I would love for you to go for a walk. Okay. Go outside, go walk for like 10 minutes, then go jog for just as long as you can. Just jog any amount of time. Now I want you to start running at a moderate pace for any amount of time. And then for as long as you can, sprint and run as hard as you can.
Mm-hmm.
This is the mental place you want to put yourself in. And this is where you can put yourself on a meter when you feel that physically, and how, especially when you physically go sprint.
Mm-hmm.
And it will put your body and your mind in a certain condition where you will be able to take that feeling and say, oh, this is how I'm supposed to go after my goals.
Mm-hmm.
With that kind of intensity.
Mm-hmm.
And not coasting to a finish line, but sprinting in to finish strong.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of like how you, it's how you've recently approached something that you're working towards. Or you think about your health too, like with you at your health right now, the way you're turning up your health, like you're really intense. You have like meal prep you've bought, so it's getting delivered to the house.
Because I don't want to make mistakes.
You're really dialed into, and
I'm taking all my
now
supplements.
Are you doing this 365 days a year? No, like last night we came to, like right now, if you're viewing on YouTube, it's not our house we're in. We're staying at a resort right now, summer edition, right? No, but we're making it work. But we weren't on it. We actually did miss the gym today. Now we'll get some activity in. We'll do a lot of walking and we'll do some of that. So it's not 365 days, but the intensity's there.
Well, we were going after another goal last night with intensity, something that we're working on.
Yeah.
With a lot of intensity. So that intensity just kind of like pivot from.
Yeah, it shifts.
Periodically. Yeah.
Yeah, it shifts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll read something that, if I can pull it up here. It's kind of like Elon, I think it was Elon Musk. He said something like this before, take a 10-year goal and do it in 6 months. And I kind of alluded to that earlier. He said, you might not hit it in 6 months, but you'll be damn far ahead of where you would have been with a 10-year timeline.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's that whole pacing. Because your actions are going to follow that. I don't want to be a broken record, but if you ever feel, again, whatever it is that you're doing, workout, your nutrition, your relationships, your business, insert, whatever it is, up the intensity, shorten the time frame of the goal.
Yep.
Right?
100%. So good.
What else you got?
We just need people to be more intense.
You're such a nerd.
No, you're speaking my language. Actually, me and my tangents. Actually, what?
I'm
one of 7 kids.
What?
I'm number 5 of 7 kids. And my parents always told me, they used to say, there's some people that would never imagine this, but they used to say that I was born angry.
Yeah,
and my dad
I could get that.
My dad said, you were the most intense child we have ever met. I'm like, thanks. So I guess I was a little bit of a problem child.
But it's funny you say that.
have learned to work that to our strengths.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Versus
I've learned to kind of
catastrophe.
kind of key into stepping back and be like, why is she so focused and intense on this? I'm not seeing this. It's like what you're doing right now at first. You know, I got the call, like she's running for, what is the?
Miss Health and Fitness.
Miss Health and Fitness. And well, when you hear this podcast, it'll probably be over. But
and I will have.
But I didn't understand the intensity. I got the charity behind it. I got and then I heard your message, but I didn't fully hear the magnitude of it. And then when I started tying, you know, I finally settled in and I listened because I know you, and I was like, oh, the intensity's high on this. Like something switched for her. It went to kind of like, let's see what happens, to now this is a cause, a mission, and a lot of people supporting it. So then all of a sudden the intensity was elevated, and it drew my attention in to be like, okay, I can get behind this too. Mm-hmm. And then my intensity got higher with it too. So I don't know if that makes...
that energy snowballs too.
Yeah.
So if you're it then becomes a team effort when it's like one person.
Well, I was saying intensity is attractive too.
Yes.
When you're operating at a level of intensity, you tend to stick out. Now, for some of you, that's going to scare the crap out of you, right? Because, oh my God, now I'm sticking out. Man, I'm telling you.
That's what you need. And
that's what you need. Because the only people that go with the only fish that go with the flow are the dead ones, right?
That's right. Yep. Be different.
Yeah.
Got to be different.
Level up that intensity. So I think that's it on this one, huh?
I think it was wonderful. Yeah. All right, friends. You deserve to live the life you desire. So go out and create your new American dream. We'll see you next time.